Hello, it's Phil at digitaldjtips.com looking at the Gemini G2V DJ controller for virtual DJ. Now we've also reviewed the Gemini G4V, which is basically the 4-channel version of this controller. It has 4 channels here to control 4 software channels. So in other words, you can use 4 decks in virtual DJ on that controller. This one is designed to use just 2 decks, but really apart from that, this controller has got everything that the G4V has for $100, yes, less. It's $299, and you know, the kind of usual equivalents in Europe and the UK and so on. So it's a budget controller, but nonetheless, it's made out of solid steel. It's really well made. It's nicely spaced out, even though it's only a 2-channel controller. It's quite compact. There's no sense of anything being cramped on it. And these jog wheels are really big. They're mechanical. This piece here is on a switch rather than on electrical capacitive, touch sensitive, which is what most jog wheels are, but this is the same as Pioneer CDJs and also the Tractor Control S2 and S4, and I really like it, and some Hercules controllers as well actually use this mechanical system. They're weighted, so they feel nice. I think the jog wheels are a really big thing on this controller. They're excellent. The knobs are all bolted onto the plate underneath, so they're not straight on the circuit board, so you're not putting stress on the circuit board. In other words, what I'm pointing out here are various features that make this higher end than the basic price tag that it attracts. It's also got a booth output and a master output, and the master output is balanced XLRs as well as the usual RCAs. So again, there's flexibility there. Where are the corners cut? Well, to start with, there are a microphone and a auxiliary input. The auxiliary input is around the back here, and the microphone input is down the front here. But these are only through little volume controls. There's a microphone volume, and there's the auxiliary volume. So they don't go through the mixer at all, which is pretty normal at this kind of price level. To be quite honest with you, to have an auxiliary input certainly is unusual in a budget DJ controller. For instance, even the Tractor Control S2 doesn't have an auxiliary through. And the auxiliary through is nice because even though it just goes onto a volume control here and comes back out the other side, and you can't use any of the mixer or the EQ and so on with it, even though that is true, it does give you a backup should your computer crash. Now there's power here as well in the back, although it will work off computer power, but of course if you plug it in there, then if your computer crashes, there's still power going to the unit. And for that reason, it's a plus point. I think it's a plus point. And actually over the G4V, it makes more sense to have this kind of limited external inputs thing that can't go through the mixer or anything. Because on the bigger one that's got 4 channels, you know, you'd kind of expect, well, I've got 4 channels there, I want to put my software decks on 2 of them, and I'd like to put my external inputs or maybe some CD players or whatever on the other 2. Well, you can't do it on that controller. It feels like a bit of a limitation on that one. On this one, it kind of makes more sense. So what else have we got? Well, it controls virtual DJ. There's virtual DJ LE in the box, which is, it's okay. It's a very, very popular piece of software. Virtual DJ 8 at the time of recording this is imminent and should correct a lot of the shortcomings of virtual DJ. The biggest one for me, apart from the fact that visually it's not as slick as the other software anymore. For instance, when you resize it to full screen, sometimes you get kind of oval decks instead of round decks. Little things like that that have just niggled for a while, which all virtual DJ users will be aware of. That kind of thing is going to be corrected in Virtual DJ 8, but also the effects aren't very good in Virtual DJ 7, and that's going to be corrected as well. So hopefully Virtual DJ 8 will be a big leap forward. Whether we'll get it for this controller is another thing, I don't know. But Virtual DJ 7 LE, which is in the box, which is the cut down version of the Pro software, is actually very well trodden path. You know, lots and lots of people using it. It's quite good software, and it has got a decent feature set on this controller. For instance, you have hot cues on these 8 pads here. You also have auto looping, so you can set these pads to loop anything from 16 beats right down to fractions of a beat. You can control Virtual DJ Sampler, and you can also do what's called loop roll, which is when you have loops that kind of go, and then the second you turn it off, the track returns to where it would have been had you not done any of the looping. Pretty pro features. There's a slip function, which is similar to loop roll, but lets you do stuff on the jog wheels as well. The effects, there's all the controls you need for them up here. It's got VU meters per channel with a gain control, so you can get the incoming gain right on each channel, and master VUs. Again, these are pro features. Overall, I think this is a really balanced, nice little controller. It's $299, which is not a lot of money. It's well built. There's only a few things where you can kind of see the budget bit kicking in. fader's a little bit scratchy. These buttons are a little bit hard. The feet on the bottom are just glued on. I'm sure they're going to come off. They did on the G4V that we reviewed. But overall, it's you're getting a hell of a lot for your money here. There's also a tractor mapping available on the Gemini website if you really don't want to use Virtual DJ. So there it is, the Gemini G2V. We've got a full review of this over on digitaldjtips.com. And if you've enjoyed this and you want to learn how to use gear like this and how to digital DJ, then please do sign up for our free course at digitaldjtips.com/join. Thank you for watching.